This is the video recording for our J component submission for the subject EC4003 Embedded Systems Design completed during fall semester 2020-21. This project was completed under the guidance of Dr. Chantini Bhaskar for School of Electronics Engineering at VIT Chennai.
So our topic is ultrasonic distance bonding tool for COVID-19. Our team members are Anmol Tumar, myself Deepan Polde, Deeprup Roy and Raghav Vishwanath. So our main objective of our project is continuously checking the whether people are maintaining social distance in the unlock phases when we are reopening all our public places from movies, theaters, etc. And what we are doing is we continuously check whether people are maintaining social distancing from others. If we find there is a violation, we immediately alarm the person and also keep a record so the person can immediately react and respond. And in future, in case there is any contamination, so we can trace out that who all came around that person and we can stop any other further contamination and break the chain. So this the main objective is that if the distance is less than 2 meters or if someone comes near us with a high temperature, we will get alarmed immediately. So we use ultra proximity sensors. We use outputs like LEDs and buzzers, so it can be used by visually impaired or hearing problem persons also. And the tools required we are using is Arduino sensor and ultrasonic sensor. Now this ultrasonic sensor is connected in 4 different directions. It is checking the distance in all the 4 directions. If any one distance is less than 2 meters, we are immediately sending a signal to the buzzers and LEDs, which will start blinking and buzzer will start beeping. We use resistors and other batteries, and then we use an Wi-Fi module to send all the collected data to the database. And we also use a PIR sensors. This PIR sensors integrated circuit can be used in shops, where we can calculate how many number of people are currently present in the shop, and looking at this display we can avoid overcrowding in a particular place. We display our graph for a person, like if he is coming in contact with someone, how many times it has come in contact. We are using ThinkSpeak to show plot a graph, and this is a schematic diagram. Coming to our algorithm that we have used, we are using 4 ultrasonic sensors HC-SR04, which is continuously looking in all 4 directions. Then we use LEDs, which will glow immediately if the distance is violated or some person who is coming near us, his temperature is high.
So the data that we collect from the device, the GPS coordinates, these can be also used by cross-referencing them with Arogya Setu app, because this app has an application programming interface, that is API that we can call, and we can integrate it on our web app because we already have an ESP8266, so we can use that, and along with that we can cross-reference that in the database of the coordinates along with the timestamps that we have, and we may know that which users came in contact and if there was a COVID infected person among them.
Myself, Deeprup Roy. So I will be explaining about the schematic diagram and other flow or activity diagrams which will be further used for simulation and development of our project. Here we have the schematic diagram, and as you can see, we use the Arduino Uno as our main microcontroller unit, and with it are interfaced all our other components using the digital GPIO pins or the analog pins, and we have a power supply and ground as well. So moving on to our array of sensors, we use the ultrasonic ping sensors for as a distance based sensor for detection of any incoming presence from the 4 directions as they have been mounted on our design. So they will detect incoming distance from the 4 corners, and we'll use the minimum of them for further analysis. Next, moving on to the PIR sensors, we have 2 PIR sensors, one PIR in and second the PIR out. And for example, this setup is used in, say, a shop. So this will function as a body counter and will keep track of individuals or presence of moving in and out. So it will keep track when a person moves in and when a person moves out. And if there is a violation of from the set threshold, it will immediately alert the owner of the shop and it can be cleared. Next, we have the TEMP36 analog temperature sensor. This is the only sensor which is interfaced differently and is connected to the analog pins, unlike the other sets which are again interfaced with the digital pins. Across the ultrasonic sensors are interfaced across 10, 11, 12, 13, and the PIR pins across 8 and 9. The TEM36 is connected to the analog A1 pin. So we detect analog temperature readings and convert them uh, to digital values, and then present it or store it for further analysis. Now, as a output or visual presentation, we have the 16 cross 2 LCD interfaced with the Arduino to provide warning text to the user of this tool. If the distance threshold is violated, then we get a message. If the body count or individuals present in a certain area exceeds the limit, then again also we'll get a message regarding the violation. And if there is contact with an individual with high body temperature, again we'll get an alert. As you can see, we also have two more components for visual and audio output: the piezo buzzer for sound output and the LED for visual output. Our final component is the ESP8266 Wi-Fi module, which is used for the purpose of relaying any information and data gathered by our sensors over to the cloud for further analysis and visualization. Now, further, I'll explain the activity diagrams. We have three control flows for the three different types of sensors that we are using in our project. First, the ultrasonic distance sensor. If an incoming presence is detected in proximity, the trigger signal is detected and a timer started. We wait for the echo signal from the presence detected and the timer stopped. We compute the distance to target object. We get the minimum distance read from the different corners from the sensors 1, 2, 3, 4, ABCD. And if there is a violation in threshold, we save the distance, time, and date in the microcontroller unit. If no, we reset the sensor for further detection. If yes, we move forward, we blink the LED, blink the buzzer for alerts, immediate alerts, and then we send it to the Wi-Fi module to further send it to the ThingSpeak cloud and generate the API key. Once that is done, we again reset the entire procedure for detection again. Also, after sending and generating API keys, we send it to the email API to send us an email regarding any violation that was detected, to keep track of when or whom we might have been in contact with, and so the spread of or infection can be prevented. We also store it in the database for future use. Moving on to the control flow 2, which is the PIR body counter. We initialize the count to 0, and we set our PIR pins to detect. Next, if the INS sensor detects a trigger, yes, then we increase the count by one individual. If no, we go back to detecting. Even if the count is increased, we reset it to go back to detecting. The out sensor does a similar thing. If a trigger is detected, we reduce the count now here per individual, and if no, we go back to detecting. Even if yes, the count is reduced, we go back to detecting. While all this is going on, if the set threshold is violated, then we immediately display an alert on the LCD ring buzzer for alerts. And after that, presumably after the shop has been cleared again, yes, the entire process is then reset back, and the initial count set back to 0. We repeat the process all over again. Moving on to the control flow 3, we have the TEM36 temperature sensor, and it will obviously detect temperature, and if the set threshold value is crossed, we immediately provide LED alert and buzzer alerts. If not, we go back to detecting. We also, moving on, we also send the data to the Wi-Fi module and then send it to the ThingSpeak and generate the API key. We then send it to the email API to have a record of any instance when we might have been in contact with an individual with high body temperature, and that will help keep track of and prevent spread of the disease. We also store it in the database for further use. While all this is also going, we reset the temp36 to keep on detecting while the device is on. And this explains all the different control flows for our model. Here we have the software diagram and software design diagram, which is pretty much based on the activity diagrams and have the similar concepts integrated for detection and implementation. Moving on, we have the PCB design here made with EagleCAD, and here we have the four different ultrasonic sensors arranged here, and these two are the PIR body counter sensors, PIR 1 and 2 in and out, and here we have the temp36 temperature sensor. These are resistors. This is the piezo buzzer for audio alert, and this is the LED for visual alert. We have here the LCD for any message text, that warning message text that we are to receive in case of a violation of distance or body count or temperature. And finally, we have the ESP8266 Wi-Fi module again here for relaying information to the cloud. All these connections are done as per the schematic diagram, and they have been interfaced accurately with the GPIO pins or the analog pins, and have been given a power supply and a ground as well.
So coming to the simulation part of the circuit, as you can see, this is our circuit implemented in Tinkercad, Arduino board, LCDs. As you can see, there are ultrasonic sensors as well as PIR sensors as well on the circuit, and the circuit can be basically used in two modes. The first one being the mode where you can use it in person, the other one being a person counter where you can implement it on a shop or any public place, and you can count how many people are going inside and outside a building and maintain a certain threshold value. We are using ESP8266, as you can see, to send the data to the ThingSpeak cloud as well as to store it in the database. So I will be starting simulation right now. So as you can see that when the simulation starts, currently there are 0 people inside the shop. Okay, so now we can change its value to see how many people are going in or out. So as you can see, the value is updated. Now this is the out sensor. This keeps a track of how many people are going outside the building, and it is constantly being monitored to show it on LCD. As you can see that it is being updated in the real time. So these are ultrasonic sensors. So what these are doing is they are checking if you are using the device on the on person mode, that is it is wearable and it is on you, then you can see that we are tracking the directions from all four directions, and whenever the threshold of distance goes below a certain value, in that case we yeah so we show it on the LCD as well as the buzzer goes on, as you can see here in the recording right now as well as, and you can see it on the display as well. So that's about ultrasonic sensors and PIR sensors, how there are two devices, and as you can see there is a ThingSpeak channel also created where we are getting the sensor values and they are being constantly plotted on the visualization, as well as we are getting an email alerts as well that on this date and time the distance was lower than the recommended distance for maintaining the social distance. Similar thing we can do for in and out sensor as well as whenever we using the temperature sensor, whenever we record that temperature was more than a certain value, then we buzz the alarm, display it on the LCD display, as well as we send it on the email so that the user gets notified about it. And that's that's the process of for temperature. We are doing it for number of people inside a shop, and for this we are using if this then that control flow, which takes the data in JSON format from our ThingSpeak API, and after that it interfaces with Gmail using SMTP server, and after that it sends us email using webhooks. So that's about the process of how we are sending, how we are actually interfacing between the two, that is ThingSpeak and sending emails. Now, coming to the temperature aspect of it, when we increase the temperature and it goes above a certain threshold, then the buzzer goes on, as well as you can see that the high temperature warning is detected. So, whenever a person with high temperature comes in contact or near to the device, to the person who is wearing, then he will know that a person with high body temperature was in contact, was near to him, and we send a alert for that as well using IFTT process as I described earlier. So those were the person counter as well as social distancing tool, the two aspects of the project. And the third and final one is this website where we are fetching the data from a database. And as you can see, whenever the distance or the temperature values are more than the threshold value, then it is being shown in the red color, and we can display it because once we have data in the JSON format and on an HTML page, we can use it and represent it in whatever way we want. We can use interactive dashboards, we can plot it, and we can show it maybe as a website notification whenever there is a violation of the threshold. So that was simulation aspect of the project. Now coming to the applications, this can be used by individuals while traveling in public places so as to they are aware of social distancing norms and they maintain the appropriately recommended distance, as well as it also fits and is a good use for places which has a huge number of people coming in, especially now it is the opening of phases after the lockdown. So the devices like these can be fit into the entry and exit points of shops to count the measure the temperature as well as distance as well as the number of people inside a building. And if they are more than a certain threshold, we can even have a Arogya Setu kind of environment for buildings. For example, whenever there is a violation of overcrowd in a building and we have many buildings connected, then we can have a central system where there is a alert sent to the government authorities. This in a way promotes the shopkeepers to generally maintain social distancing norms as they are aware that they are being logged and monitored. And this is a great example of what we can have on metro stations or other places where there is a huge rush at certain times, and we kind of people overlook the social distancing norms and measures. And this can also be used in offices, educational institutions as well, to make sure that students and employees are maintaining social distance guidelines and the number of people that are entering into a classroom are less than a certain value of threshold, and we practice the social distancing responsibly for us as well as those around us. So that was our project. Thank you very much.